Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another insightful episode of Expert Matters. My name is Shruti, and Expert Matters is a series where we dive deep into industry wisdom, where leaders who have just walked the path but shaped it. Today, we are honored to be joined by Dr. Amol Yelgaonkar. He's director at Pharma India. He has been had 27 years of diverse and global experience. He has led more than 50 regulatory inspections across continents and has consistently championed excellence in compliance and quality. From its roots, from his roots in quality control and assurance to becoming a recognized voice in the pharmaceutical domain, his journey is both inspiring and instructive for young professionals, especially those aspiring to enter or grow in this space. Thank you so much, sir, to join us with today. We are incredibly excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank
And
you.
just to give a quick introduction about myself, and to add what you have already told about me, thank you for that. So
Mhm,
I've been playing a key role in Pharma India.
mhm.
So I'm heading the Asia Pacific region for Pharma, which is a consulting organization, which is in fact the world's largest consulting organization for pharma, biotech, and medical device industry.
Oh, wow.
So we provide consulting to the top 10 global pharma companies as well as mid-size, small-size global companies. We have around 1,100 clients worldwide.
Oh, great.
So I lead the APAC region for business development for technical matters
Mhm.
for ProPharma. So that is what is about my introduction, and I think people will get to know more about me as we go through this session.
Definitely. I have a lot of questions to ask you today. My first question to you, sir, would be what has inspired you to choose this field? Because this is not a very, ordinary domain to be chosen for.
Yeah, okay. So you can say that, from the very beginning of my career,
Mhm.
I was always curious about pharmaceutical industry. I'm from a science background, a pure science background. So I was drawn to healthcare. I was drawn to medical field. So I thought that pharmaceutical industry is best for me to choose because of its direct impact on the human health and human well-being. So if we talk about what specifically inspired me to choose this field of pharma and especially quality and regulatory affairs, that the reason was the critical role which quality and regulatory affairs plays in ensuring the patient safety, product quality, and product efficiency. Uh, so because in my early career, what cemented this thought is in my early career, I witnessed how rigorous quality systems and regulatory compliance can make the difference between a successful product launch and the one never reaches the market, or probably worse, a bad product which puts the patients at risk. So that sense of responsibility, resonated deeply within me. So I've seen the industry evolve new technologies, global regulatory landscapes, increasing patient expectations also. So throughout these challenges, the foundation has remained the same. Quality and compliance are absolutely non-negotiable.
Oh, wow. So, sir, it has been a journey of 2 decades and even more now. I think in the next few years, you're going to be completing 3 decades. I'm sure you might have had a huge transition from your initial journey, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
How did your early roles in quality control and assurance they helped to shape your leadership style today? Were there any resonance or, do you think initially the role looked pretty different to what and where you are today?
Absolutely. Initially, there were a lot of moments of happiness. There were a lot of moments of frustration. In fact, there were more moments of frustration, like, oh my God, what I'm doing, where I've where I'm where I'm stuck. So, but then that did not matter at all because I wanted to work for pharma industry. So, in fact, as it's true for everyone, the initial roles in quality control and quality assurance, they were foundational in shaping the leader what I am today. So if I have to specifically mention working hands-on in the laboratory or on the production floor, where the medicines would get manufactured, where the active pharmaceutical ingredients, would get manufactured. That taught me the importance of precision, consistency, and absolutely accountability also, because you need to be absolutely accountable when you are carrying out something, when you are doing a lab work, or when you are designing an experiment, or when you are designing a product. So I learned early that even a minor oversight could have major consequences on the product quality, and moreover on the patient safety.
Hmm.
I had a boss who a manager who would always tell me, Amol, design the products in such a way that tomorrow if your family has to take those medicines, you should not be hesitant in giving them those medicines which you have developed. So that instilled a mindset of rigor and responsibility that's still central to my leadership approach. And also, those early roles taught me the value of uh, what you call a cross-functional collaboration, which is very important anywhere, not only in pharma, anywhere. So
Definitely.
I often had to communicate quality issues with the manufacturing, R&D, supply chain, regulatory teams. Most of the times under pressure. Oh my God, how should I report this? How should I communicate this? So that experience developed my ability to lead, with clarity, empathy, and moreover with a solution oriented mindset. Because whenever I used to report issues to anyone, they used to ask me solutions also. ठीक है आपने issue you know report किया, now what should we do? So that
Correct.
solution oriented mindset, it got
Hmm.
developed over the period of time. So
Hmm.
later, as I moved into leadership positions, so
Hmm.
I have always focused on building teams that are technically strong, but
Hmm.
also deeply aligned with uh, the why behind what we do.
Hmm.
So I always encourage a culture of ownership, taking decisions on your own, open communications. These are the principles that trace directly, back to my early days in QC and QA.
This makes sense because you were definitely passionate about the industry, like you said,
Yeah.
and your role was more technical than it is today. Because, yeah, of course, when we enter the industry, we have to get our hands dirty and learn about each and everything. Do you have any pivotal moments to share that that you knew that defined your transition from technical role to a leadership position like you are currently?
Yes, I do have. So before that, I would like to tell you that initially, in my initial 10 years of my career, my role was 100% technical. But as I grew, on the ladder, so now my role is like 10% technical and 90% leadership, and, management, mentoring, teaching people, building the teams, commercial, profit and loss, everything. But in the initial phase of my career, of course, there were a few pivotal moments, that marked the shift from technical expertise to leadership, and what a leader I am today. So one of the most defining, if I can recall, was when I was asked to lead a cross-functional investigation into critical quality deviation. That was, very much early in my career. So I was not in a formal leadership position at that time at all. But the absolute important thing was that I had a deep knowledge of the process, and I had built trust across the department. If you remember my second, our second conversation, that that communication within the department, convincing them, building the trust was very important, and that helped me here. So that experience taught me that leadership is not about title at all. It's about accountability, providing solutions, and making an influence on other people.
Hmm.
Second uh, example, if I want to specifically mention that when I was asked to set up a quality control laboratory
Mm-hmm.
and a QA function in Brazil for one of my ex organization. So I was in Brazil for 5 months at that time, back in 2011, and that lab still functions, on the same standard operating procedures which we have built back in 2011. So I realized then that it was no longer just about ensuring compliance myself, or imposing compliance on others, but creating systems and building teams that could do so sustainably. Since last 15 years, they are having a strong backbone of what we had built in 2011 at that time. So, during that phase, I had to shift my mindset from doing myself to enabling. That's very important. When you are becoming a leader, you don't have to just do it yourself. You have to enable. So, which developed people at the site. Then I also set clear expectations, you know, and I was a very strong communicator. I am still a very strong communicator. So that helped
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And finally, from time to time, if I have to tell you that, participating in global regulatory audits, of course, especially when leading them, that helped cement my transition. So representing a company, of course, when you're representing a company at a global level, to a regulatory agency, answering tough questions from the authorities, and leading the teams through very high stake situations. That the situations are at very high stake when there is an audit. So it all taught me how to stay calm under pressure. I'll never ever come under stress anytime in my life during such
Oh, wow.
during such
That's a
instances.
great skill to have, to be honest.
It's absolutely must-have skill.
Yeah.
So, it taught me how to stay calm under tremendous pressure, and in that pressure, take decisions confidently and lead with integrity. That's
Hmm.
very important. So those moments shaped, not just my career path, but also my, what you call leadership philosophy.
Mhm. Definitely. So you cannot predict this transition. Like, you mentioned when you started working, you were doing R&D and you were working in collaboration with a lot of teams. It seems to be a great, great transition in all the aspects possible. I'm sure you've had your own set of achievements and challenges, but you definitely cannot predict things to be prepared for it, especially,
Ab-
when it comes to our career. So you can work hard on things, you can, finish the task you have in hand right now, but you cannot predict where I'm going to be in the next 30 years or maybe 20 years. So you've led more than, 50 regulatory inspections globally right now. What are some of the major and most, highlighting challenging, regulatory inspections till now, and how did you handle them? Because of course you were not 100% prepared for everything.
yeah. Uh, See, if I have to tell you, each inspection, any inspection, a small inspection or a big inspection. When I say small and big, you know, a 1 day inspection or a lengthy inspection which goes on for 5 days, 7 days. So it has its own set of challenges. But a few are they stand out as particularly very complex. So one of the most challenging was a multi-agency inspections. Whenever there is an inspection, only one agency comes and inspects and they go back. But then this was very challenging because it was a inspection from two different authorities at the same time, same dates at the same site, same manufacturing site. So involving US FDA and EMA
Mm-hmm.
at a facility that had recently undergone a major upgrade, systems
Oh, wow.
upgrade. Yeah. Now imagine two
Mm-hmm.
different regulatory agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Inspectors had different expectations.
Mm-hmm.
There were real-time questions about data, the systems, the new processes, and we had to answer those questions very efficiently and convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
So, we had to manage not only the technical responses, but also, the cultural nuances between the two different agencies. Cultural and of course the regulatory nuances between them because they were way different.
Hmm.
So, I had probably sensed it that there is going to be such kind of challenge, to handle these inspections. So, what I did is I implemented a central command approach. So, establishing a core team responsible for coordinating responses, giving, providing answers, pulling up documentation from the archives, and managing communication to the central team. So there was one central team, two different teams reporting into the central team, and I was heading that central team. So I also ensured that we held daily debriefings to align messagings or any emerging concerns very quickly. So of course, in this processes, maintaining transparency, owning the gaps, and outlining clearly what you have to do the next day, and what are your approach is going to be. So that matters a lot. But ultimately, we closed the inspection with only one or two minor observations, which was a major success, given the complexity of the situation and complexity of the entire inspection. And I would not say I was awarded, but then my team was awarded by the chairman of the company after the outcome of the inspection. So
Wow.
that was like really really challenging, and I could say a feather in my cap. So what I've learned from leading all those inspections globally is that one, preparation; second, cross-functional alignment;
Mm-hmm.
and not just compliance, but a deep culture of quality. Ownership, that I'm responsible to maintain this culture of quality.
Mm-hmm.
These are the keys, most important keys to navigating even the toughest regulatory uh, inspections or any scenarios.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. If your values are on place, I think you can, do the world's most difficult task as well. That sounds brilliant, sir. Uh, but you cannot, of course, do all these things unless you are super passionate about what you do. So, what
Yeah.
motivated you to stay aligned with quality and compliance throughout your career? Because it's not a matter of 3, 5, 10 years. It's a bet of 27 years now, and you've been super, super passionate. Your roles might have been diversified internally. You might have gotten a lot of other opportunities to step into it. What motivated you so much that you started with quality and compliance, and you are after 27 years still working towards it?
Yeah. So it's not that in between I did not transition to different functions. I did that because that's how you should be, making your career, because you should know about other technical roles also.
Mm-hmm.
So because I started with quality control, quality assurance, quality and compliance, then I went on to work in research and development. Then I did a lot of audits. Then so over the period of time, I have transitioned in different functions and different roles. But if I have to make only one statement about what motivated me to stay aligned with quality and compliance, only one statement. It is that uh, deep, a deep-rooted belief that patient safety and product integrity are absolutely non-negotiable. Because no matter the role, whether I was working for QA, working for regulatory strategy, or overseeing external manufacturing,
Mm-hmm.
I've always seen that quality and compliance not as just mere check boxes, but as the foundation of trust in the
Mm-hmm.
healthcare system. So that mindset has helped me make better decisions, build stronger teams, and maintain credibility with regulators. Because you are the face of the company, when in front of the regulators. So of course, and you have to maintain the credibility with the senior leadership, the management of the organizations also. And if I have to tell you what kept me motivated was seeing the impact of our work, seeing the real impact of our work, whether it was resolving a critical market complaint, or a successful product launch, or guiding a site through a major inspection. So I knew that focus on quality was going to make a lot of difference. So that sense of purpose has been a constant driver,
Mm-hmm.
even when business pressures were there, when there are very tight timelines, and most of the times business pressures or tight timelines make it very tempting to compromise, which
Definitely.
which nobody should do. And we did not I did not do that anytime. So
Hmm.
that sense of purpose has been a constant driver. So ultimately I view quality and compliance as not as not as functions, but
Mm-hmm.
as values, and that values are imbibed in me, and those values have consistently guided my this journey till here.
Definitely. So, like, like we discussed, this video is to inspire students who want to enter and build a career in pharmaceutical industry. My next question to you would be for the students aspiring to enter pharmaceutical quality and regulatory affairs, especially, where
Hmm.
should they start from?
There are various means to start from. So I'd recommend, starting with a very strong foundation in the sciences. I mean, either pure sciences like chemistry. So chemistry, there are different fields in chemistry: organic chemistry, or analytical chemistry, or inorganic chemistry. So
Mm-hmm.
a bachelor's in that, or a master's in that, or a PhD in that.
Mm-hmm.
Then pharmacy or engineering. Engineering, of course, there are a lot of engineers in pharma.
Hmm.
So chemical engineers, a
Hmm.
chemical engineering or something like that. But more than that, just as important as the technical knowledge, uh, what is important is understanding the why behind the regulations. So
Hmm.
it's not just about the rules. It's about, again, I'll say, it's about protecting patients,
Hmm.
ensuring the integrity of medicines.
Hmm.
That that's very important.
Hmm.
So for the students, they can start with these degrees, in sciences, in pharmacy, bachelor's in pharmacy, or master's in pharmacy, or PhD in any of the subjects.
Hmm.
Then probably internships, or entry level roles in either production, research and development, quality control, quality assurance,
Hmm.
that could be great entry points for the students, because
Hmm.
these tools, give hands-on exposure to the pharmaceutical processes, how you should develop a product, how you should manufacture a medicine. They give exposure to GMP,
Hmm.
then good documentation practices, and as I always say, cross-functional collaboration. So
Yeah.
all these are essential in this field. So I always tell the young professionals,
Hmm.
don't underestimate the value of starting close to the ground.
Hmm.
You always start close to the ground. In my career, in the starting of my career, 1 year, I was doing very, very simple things, which probably at that time I thought that these are not going to add value to this entire organization. But then,
Hmm.
later on, I was convinced that those small things which I did, it really, built a strong foundation, to my career. So those early experiences, they build credibility and probably a context, that serve you throughout your career.
Hmm.
So I would also encourage students to be curious, always, should
Hmm.
always be curious and proactive.
Hmm.
So proactive, I mean, they can join some organizations, uh, attend some webinars, read guidance documents, and so these help build familiarity with the global regulatory landscape and what is happening in the industry. And
Hmm.
lastly, the most important thing, soft skills.
Hmm.
So communication, problem solving, judgment, how you communicate risks or non-compliance is very important in quality and regulatory affairs. So it can be just as important as your technical knowledge. So
Hmm.
building those skills early, very early in your career, is key to long-term success.
Hmm. Makes sense. Awesome. So my next question to you would be how important is mentorship in this domain? And people or students who are, really looking forward to build a career in this, how can they approach or find a relevant professional to be, mentored under?
Okay. I would say that uh, do the same as I did. I started within my organization. So I looked for the mentor within my organization first. So you should always start within your organization. Look for senior colleagues, who are approachable, experienced, and respected. Once you join any organization, or any, for that matter, any college also, you will immediately come to know who all are respected by other people. who all are approachable, who all are senior. And uh, one thing, never ever be afraid to ask for guidance. Invite them for a quick coffee chat. Just go to them, go to their table, ask them, sir, I need your guidance. I have a problem. Can you help me solve this? So, you know,
Mhm.
most professionals like me are very happy to share their knowledge when they are approached, respectfully, or when we feel that the person is real, the person really wants to learn something, really wants to solve his problem.
Hmm.
So this is, starting within your organization is the first step, which I would say. And
Hmm.
then second probably would be join some professional associations like, ISP. There's one ISP, International Society for Pharmaceutical Engineering, or
Mhm.
PDA, or RAPS for regulatory. So these
Mhm.
are the communities which often host mentorship programs, or conferences or networking events that that connect experienced leaders with early career professionals. So I go to many of the uh, colleges as a guest lecturer. So
Hmm.
you know some students, very few students, I mean, if there are 100 or 200 students, only one or two students actually
Hmm.
approach to me, and they ask me some questions. So I really respect those students who come to me, ask questions, and they also remain in touch with me. They ask me my LinkedIn profile, and they say, sir, we'll be in touch with you. We
Hmm.
want to learn more about this. So that's how you go about it.
Hmm.
Then, uh, when approaching, I would also like to give tips to, the young students. Like, when you're approaching for mentorship, you should be very clear and intentional. Uh, when you're approaching a potential mentor, it helps to be specific and explain what you're looking to learn,
Hmm.
why you admire their path. And you hope that you hope to grow in your career, so that your mentor also should be convinced that you are really serious about it.
Hmm.
So uh, anyway, mentorship is also a two-way street. When mentor is giving you something, you should also give mentor something, and what mentor expects is good attention. So
Hmm.
mentorship is always a two-way street. You should always be engaged. Mentor is teaching you something, and then you're not engaged with the mentor, that doesn't really work.
Hmm.
uh, Follow through an advice. Mentor, if mentor is giving you an advice, you should really follow that advice. Show some
Mhm.
appreciation. Yes, I followed this advice, and these are the results. So over the period of time, this builds a strong and lasting professional relationship. So
Mhm.
in my own career, many mentors have helped me see beyond my immediate tasks and think more strategically.
Hmm.
So they challenged me when needed. Like, one of my mentors, he just threw me into a challenge. He had a you know habit of throwing me into a challenge. He did not help me in the initial phase, but then he knew, he was confident about me that I'll sail through. So they challenged me whenever it was necessary. They helped me. Yeah, very important. They helped me see the failures as growth opportunities. Sometimes they let me fail, and they also judged, or they also helped me to come out of that failure. So
Hmm.
you know facing a failure is also very important.
Hmm.
And unless until you will face a failure, you will not be able to learn how to come out of that failure. So
Hmm.
that's what mentorship is about, and that's how people should approach. So I always believe that mentorship isn't optional at all.
Hmm.
It's probably what you call is as a
Hmm.
success multiplier, I can say.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Lovely, sir. And that was an incredibly enriching session, to be honest. You have not just, walked us through the landscape of pharmaceutical quality and regulatory affairs, but also laid a clear path for students and professionals who want to build meaningful careers in this domain.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. On behalf of the entire ISBR community and ISBR Business School, I'd like to thank you for your time, your stories, and your practical insights as well. Thank you so much for joining us
thank you
today.
for having me here. And last but not the least, I would reiterate that there is no substitute for hard work. It is
Mhm.
the foundation of achievement. So I would advise the younger generation, focus on mastering your field, developing a strong attention to detail, as everything, all these things are critical, you know for product compliance, safety of patients, and again, more importantly, never stop asking why,
Mm-hmm.
because that answer is understanding the root cause, or understanding the root cause is the key
Mm-hmm.
for everything.
Hmm. Definitely. Thank you so much for saying that. And it is the experts like you who remind us that careers are not just about the compensation or maybe just the qualification and the skill set, but it is also about, the consistency, your values, your ethics, and your commitment to learning. So thank you so much for saying that and for breaking it down, and especially, making it so understandable and relatable for students who are watching this, especially when you shared your insights of your initial early, career stage. So that really really is inspiring, and it means a lot for you to take out time for doing this. Thank you so so much for joining us today and making this happen.
Thank you again for having me here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
I wish all the best to the students.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. If everything, we are going to play this video at the ISB Business School, and we would be more than happy to, welcome you at our campus to have a guest lecture really, really soon. I will discuss your availability and I will take it ahead. But, we would love to have you in campus as well.
No problem. Where is the campus located?
It's in Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore. Oh wow, nice. My son studies there, so I would love to come to Bangalore. I
Oh,
can pay him
wow.
a visit.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. More than welcome, and we'll be happy to host you. I will plan that out for you. And yeah, thanks again for doing this today.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.